Designers are going to come in and be more instructional about the features that are actually built for people. So like, whereas product managers would say that there needs to be a button to do X, right? And then they'd say, hey, design, make this pretty. I think it's going to be more like design is going to say, you know, based on the research that we've started to do, right? There's this problem, right? And so now working with product to figure out what are the possible solutions, and then how do you prioritize a solution to experiment with. And so I think that's where design is a bit more like they'll do more of the actual, like, you know, they still do the wireframing, they still do the interaction kind of like storyboarding and stuff like that, but it's more within their camp from the standpoint of like, this is a feature that they're maybe helping co-develop with a product person. But to be very clear about this though, is I think it's still within the realm and very important for product people to be involved in the research. Even though it is more in the design's wheelhouse right now, I think that's something that we need to take away from them or join and co-author with them, right? Is the fact that this research is so key to the things that we do, right? Like for us to be able to, like when you look at something like Job to be Done, right? And the way that you build narratives of how people came to that decision point, right? That is something that a designer could do that research, right? But I actually think that like a product manager is probably more appropriate to do Job to be Done style interviewing. Whereas when you look at things like contextual inquiry, that is kind of like product and design. When you look at usability, that's maybe more core design. So there's all these different types of research that are out there. Like competitive research is another one where, you know, like I said, I think that's generally product manager's role. I've been trying to get design more involved so they can see how competitive research happens and maybe innovate on that a little bit. Because I think like the whole table of checkboxes approach is the wrong way to go about it nowadays. And then same thing with like sales safaris, or even, you know, the idea of interacting with the community that you're trying to understand online, which gets back to that like complex area of probe. And so I think like that's where design and product are going to be working much closer together to figure out like the spectrum of research that needs to happen.